Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble News channel. As of now, Bitcoin is staying the same and is still below this important level around 61,000. It still looks like it will go down to support around 53,700. Now, the one thing that would change my mind is if it could close above this line at 61 and be sure. That would mean that it could go up to 68, 69, or even 70. But right now, once more, Bitcoin's bubble stands out because it is clear and simple. There's no limit to who can join, no matter how much they know about crypto or how new they are to it. Guess who is watching us now? Robert Kiyosaki is the author of the best-selling book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We'd also like to thank everyone who put their trust in us. We read all of your comments, and the best part is that it's free. If you sign up now, you'll get all the new information for free. Stay ahead of the trends instead of just following them. Today, sign up for Bitcoin Bubble and enjoy the new edge. Let's watch this movie with Gareth to learn more about Bitcoin and other things. Positioning is still bad. Now let's go back to the SPY chart and look at this vertical move, right? That's something I did bring up. I think it was yesterday. The SP made an incredibly steep move on the spiders. Okay, when you get to Bitcoin, you ask yourself, wait a minute, what the heck, it did bounce? Yes, it was a big jump, but it hasn't kept going up. It's been going down. One thing to keep an eye on is that Bitcoin seems to sometimes fall into the risk on group. Sometimes it looks like, oh wait, it's not risky because it's not doing with the SP, the NASDAQ, or Nvidia, right? It's still trying to figure things out, which is fine. But this is why charts are so important for traders and investors. If you look at the charts, you won't have to wonder why it's not doing that. The chart just told us that it never really went above this line. That means it was still in weak form. It did come back in, which is why the plots are so useful. Help you understand. Let's take a quick look at gold now. Gold is going up. Guys, we might reach $2,500 today. That would be cool, right? Wow, gold has gone up a lot. At the moment, it's trading at $24.86, $14 below that $2,500 mark. Keep in mind that the 25th number is also the top of this channel. So, I have a position along GLD as a swing trade through the Smart Money Commodities Service. I'll probably sell at $2,500 because it's a swing trade, which means we're in and out. But when it pulls back, I expect it to pull back off that upper channel line, and then I'll start to buy again. If it breaks through that even number, I think you'll get a lot of hype, which is generally a sign of a short-term top. It might go a little higher than $2,500, but I don't know. As soon as it pulls back, most likely to the center, start to build up again. Low end here. Okay, let's look at silver on the front. Silver is taking a break today. Once more, notice that silver was stronger than gold yesterday. Why? Because there was a lot of good business news. Gold is better than silver right now. The economic news, building permits, and home starts were not as strong as they usually are. The market is taking a break. This means that silver isn't moving. We did close above this line, which is good news for silver bugs. It hasn't been proven. Don't do that because it's not really a breakout yet. It's still not certain. So far, it's just staying put. If it can stay put here, it might have a chance to confirm, which would allow it to move up to about 31 and break this downward trend line. In any case, this is a good sign for silver. Now it just needs to find its groove and make sure it's ready to go. Guys, let's take a quick look at oil. Let's look at oil again. There was a little drop over the last few days, but there was a small rise today. This new style line is now here. This is just a trend line for the short term. Turn high to turn high here, here, and here, and here. In any case, that only helps us figure out why the price is stuck here. It will go to this upper trend line if it can get above. It's easy for it to go back to that 7050 level of technical help as long as it stays below. The fact that Norway's national wealth funds have a $144 million exposure to Bitcoin seems to be an accident, more likely caused by algorithmic sector weighting than a planned strategy. Fedelund, a senior analyst at California 33 Research, says that Norway's government pension funds increased Bitcoin exposure, which is now worth $144.8 million, is probably due to algorithmic sector weighting and diversification strategies rather than a conscious choice to buy more Bitcoin. Since December 2023, the fund's Bitcoin holdings have grown by 160.7%. This is mostly due to more investments in companies like MicroStrategy that have Bitcoin on their balance sheets. The fund raised its investments in MicroStrategy by Michael Saylor, Coinbase, a cryptocurrency exchange, and Block by Jack Dorsey. It also started a new investment in Marathon Digital, a Bitcoin mining company. Because of this, every Norwegian holds $27 worth of Bitcoin in a roundabout way. This shows how Bitcoin is becoming a part of diverse portfolios around the world. The trend of more people being exposed to crypto is not just happening in Norway. The third largest public pension fund in the world, South Korea's National Pension Service, recently bought MicroStrategy shares worth almost $34 million. This shows that Bitcoin is becoming more popular among institutions. Guys, the natural gas is always a good time. I think it was Monday that we got rid of our long position on yuan yen smart money commodities. This time it was natural gas. It was also a nice way to leave. To be honest, it's not much lower now than it was, but it shows you. There is a chance that you could have stayed in and been shopped around all week instead of just taking the money you made and walking away. Why are charts so important to me? Because they help me make decisions that make sense and are based on chance, right? Remember that you can always second guess yourself, and half the time you'll think, I could have done a little better. But honestly, it's the regularity of doing it over and over that gives you that edge and confidence where you don't. You're not making decisions based on how you feel, right? Okay. I just wanted to go over a few of the charts. Let's quickly talk about Ethereum. Guys, Ethereum does have a bit of barrier right now, around $2,800. Again, we'd see that it stopped here. If it can get through that, it will have more trouble at $3,000. A lot of people are against this on Ethereum. A little more than yesterday. Just one thing to keep in mind about this Ethereum picture if we zoom out, all right? Okay, there are some things you need to remember. That means there's a huge level below here around 2,000. At this point, there would be more than one trend line. There are more than one trend line, right? This is a game for you. We can also draw on that kind of converges there. To be honest, you can see that there is also a trend line that goes down through this spot. That's why I would buy a lot of Ethereum if the price fell below $2,000. However, I still believe there is a small chance it could still go up and test 3,000. However, the stock market would have to behave itself and stay strong for this to happen. When the stock market goes down, all coins do a lot worse generally. Let's take a quick look at copper. Copper once more. This was a truly amazing zone. Guys, take a look at these trend lines. This low came right here, so that's it. That amount of support was right there on that flat top. I talked about, we have had a good bounce off of it, but we are facing a lot of resistance, and what a drop on copper, guys. Once more, you could add this trend line as well. This is also a trend line that you should pay attention to. Take a look. Copper has a huge amount of resistance between 423 and 425, so the question is, which way does it break? For some reason, it's going to be stuck between these two levels. Also, does it break up or down? We don't have a good read on the chart yet, right? You need to be honest with yourself. The chart shows that there is resistance just above and support below. It's not clear which way it will break. But if you believe the big picture data and the general outlook for the economy, it means that we will finally break lower. If you look at some of these charts, like nickel, you can see that even nickel hasn't moved much here. I was surprised by this. But really, look at how much the nickel price dropped. It was crazy. Then it made a little positive pattern, but it hasn't been able to break out yet. And this pattern is getting old. So it's interesting to see that the nickel price hasn't gone up, even though there was good economic news this week. You might have thought that this was good for the business side of metals. Nickel